My God, I hate drugs.
Alejano says what he got is a personal information in which palace and military officials are refusing to reveal to the public. Alejano says that some armed forces officials have raised concerns over the president's order. This led to a compromise between the president and some armed force officials to a one patrol per month over the West Philippine Sea.
I received information that the Duterte administration ordered our armed forces not to patrol West Philippine Sea anymore. And ang sabi ng armed forces, sandali muna, that is our mandate. We would be remiss of our mandate to protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity if you do that. Is it not impeachable offense already?
Now we're still trying to get palace and military officials to react on Alejano's statement and whether this is true or not. But Alejano says he has to divulge the information since the public has the right to know about the country's dealings with China. He also says the government has been secretive in dealing with China, which has been compromising the country's sovereignty. That's why Alejano says the Philippines must challenge the ongoing militarization of China over the South China Sea. This can be achieved if the country encourages its allies, like the United States, to conduct freedom of navigation operations. Alejano says the government should also file more diplomatic protests against China's harassment of Filipino fishermen swarming these waters. Alejano claims Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano has only filed one diplomatic protest during the entire Duterte administration, not 50 to 100 as what Cayetano has earlier claimed. He says the protest, which was a note verbal, was brought to the Chinese ambassador's residence last May 28, Saturday. Alejano explains this is also a sign of the country's subservience to China, as the Chinese ambassador must have been summoned by the Philippine government instead. He also says that the government should craft a national security strategy as the actions of some officials have wide national security implications. Mai.
Rex, what are Alejano's plans to compel the Philippine government to take more action over China's militarization in the West Philippine Sea?
He says he will continue to divulge more information as long as it will not compromise the national security of the country. He says that this will also be his main platform asserting the country's sovereignty when he runs for a Senate seat in 2019. Mai.
Bourdain's death comes just 3 days after fashion designer Kate Spade died, also of suicide. Spade, who was 55, was found dead in her New York apartment Tuesday, and she left a note. Her sister revealed she may have had a bipolar disorder and that she didn't want to seek treatment for her mental illness. But Spade's family is disputing her sister's claims. The famed designer leaves behind a husband and a 13-year-old daughter. While these deaths have shocked us, we're seeing more and more people are talking about suicide and depression on social media. For those who are battling depression and anxiety, it's important that you know there are people who can help. Don't hesitate to talk to someone, or you can pick up the phone and call the 24/7 Hope line. The numbers are flashed on your screen. Also, if you see someone struggling, you reach out. Switching gears now, the Golden State Warriors are once again champions of the NBA after sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-0. Our sports desk correspondent Pauline Versosa is at a viewing party in Makati. Hi, Pauline. How are the fans? How did the Warriors beat the Cavs? And tell us about the atmosphere there.
That's right, Maya. Just like what you mentioned, we're here at the NBA Finals viewing party in Makati City, where both Golden State Warriors and Cleveland Cavalier fans alike came to support their favorite champions in the recently concluded Game 4 of the NBA Finals series. Both teams were equally represented here at the viewing party, and at the first half of the game, there was definitely an intense atmosphere between the two fan bases as they were cheering for every point and every miss of each team. But it was in the second half of the game where the energy of the fans of the Cavaliers started to dwindle down when their team was down by as much as 21 points at the end of the third quarter. We clearly saw that the defense of the Cavaliers was porous, which gave way to the Warriors scoring those easy and uncontested baskets, especially from the field. And to the delight of the Warriors fans, the Warriors built a 23-point lead at the end of the game to secure their second straight NBA championship title and their third title in the 4 years they've faced the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals. They finished the game 108-85 with 37 of those points from Steph Curry. But this year's NBA Finals MVP is not Steph Curry, but rather Kevin Durant, who scored 28.8 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists throughout the NBA Finals series, his second and consecutive Finals MVP award. But as for LeBron, he finished with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. We've yet to see if LeBron will still suit up with the Cavaliers in the coming seasons. But today, the victory goes to the Golden State Warriors. And to tell us a little bit more on how this game was for them are young GSW fans, Nathan and Nigel Sanshanko. So, Nathan and Nigel, how was Game 4 for you guys?
It was great because our team won by around 23 points, and we actually swept the Cavs this year. Unlike last year, it was in 5 games.
How about you, Nigel? How do you feel?
I feel happy for the Warriors because they already have won so many championships against the Cavs.
Nathan, can you tell me what was your favorite moment in Game 4?
Is when one of the Cavs were trying to close out Curry, and it was supposed to be a foul, but Curry just shot the 3, and it was amazing.
Nigel, can you tell me, what do you feel that Steph Curry didn't take the Finals MVP award? Were you betting on him getting it?
Yeah, because all of the games he played consistent points, including for Game 3.
So do you think the Warriors will defend their title next year?
Yeah, I hope so.
Me too.
You too. So thank you very much, Nathan and Nigel. The celebration here at the NBA Finals viewing party continues at Makati City as the Golden State Warriors claim their NBA championship title this year. Mai?
Thanks, Pauline. Go Dubs! Pauline Versosa there reporting to us live from Makati. The world is still stunned after the death of beloved chef, writer, and TV host Anthony Bourdain. The creative mind behind CNN's Parts Unknown was in France filming an upcoming episode when he took his own life. Tributes are pouring in from friends and colleagues who knew him best and from fans who admired his ability to find humanity in every far-flung place he visited by connecting over a meal. Here's CNN's Erica Hill.
I don't even know what this is. I love you, noodles.
Called the original rock star of the culinary world, the Elvis of bad boy chefs, Anthony Bourdain was a cultural icon.
Ooh, delicious.
His mission, to explore the world, meet the most interesting people, and of course, find the best food.
We ask very simple questions. What makes you happy? What do you eat? What do you like to cook? And everywhere in the world we go and ask these very simple questions, we tend to get some really astonishing answers.
Born in New York and raised in New Jersey, Anthony Bourdain began working in kitchens as a teenager, eventually becoming a celebrity chef.
Going to 73 side of Au Poivre.
A best-selling author and TV host.
What'd you think? I loved it.
Behind the success, Bourdain struggled with demons, including an addiction to heroin, which he says began in a Cape Cod restaurant when he was just 17.
There was some dark genie inside me that I very much hesitate to call a disease that led me to dope.
Bourdain spoke openly about his struggles and about the person who inspired him to do better.
I have a 7-year-old daughter now who I never would have had. I never would have thought. I looked in a mirror and I saw somebody worth saving, or that I wanted to at least try real hard and save.
Using his celebrity to raise awareness about opioid addiction, Along with his advocacy, Bourdain remained a passionate explorer, bringing his adventurous spirit to CNN in 2013, where he shared his insatiable curiosity with audiences around the world on his series, Parts Unknown.
All right, you're going to have to...
I will walk you through.
You're going to have to walk me through this.
Former President Obama, who joined Bourdain on Parts Unknown in Vietnam, tweeting, "He taught us about food, but more importantly, about its ability to bring us together, to make us a little less afraid of the unknown."
People tend to be proud of their food. They let their guard down when they talk to you. You see them at their most vulnerable and revealing in a lot of ways. So even people with whom you have really fundamental disagreements and maybe even complete different belief systems, if you're going to intersect anywhere, it's going to be over food.
Ah, the real deal.
Erica Hill, CNN, New York.
Recently, Anthony Bourdain had emerged as a leading male voice in support of the Me Too movement. He was 61 years old. CNN Philippines got to interview Bourdain when he was here in June last year for the World Street Food Congress. He tells our senior anchor and correspondent Pinky Webb what he thought about Filipino cuisine.
Filipino food, of course, that's what we're really looking forward to. What you have to say about Filipino food? How would you describe our cuisine?
I think it's a work in progress as far as how to describe it. I think Americans and American palates are just now starting to become seriously interested and embrace and investigate and learn. I think certain Filipino dishes are more likely to take root and take hold more quickly than others. And I think, the brightest, best hope for a representational, advanced team, I think Sisig is perfectly positioned to win the hearts and minds of the world as a whole.
Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is, what is it about Sisig that you're saying it's the number one? Is it the number one food, you think? Number one Filipino food?
Well, certainly not statistically, but I think it's the most likely to convince people abroad who have had no exposure to Filipino food to maybe look further and investigate further beyond sisig. I think that's the one that's going to hook them.
What was in Anthony Bourdain that seemed to love sisig?
Well, it's hot, sizzling, crispy, sticky, delicious bits of pork with many textures. Goes really, really well with beer. It's casual. It's accessible. It's exactly what you need after a few beers, and that's a perfect food.
And it's cheap.
That helps.
Aside from sisig, I know you said that a while ago also during your talk. What's the second food that you really love?
Look, I love
Philippines?
lechon, of course, okay. but that's easy. Everybody loves lechon. Anywhere in the world. Adobo, a good adobo, sinigang.
It will be a rainy weekend. The southwest monsoon and tropical storm Doming are bringing rains, most especially to western sections of Luzon and Visayas. Weather Bureau Pag-asa says the moderate to occasional heavy rains could trigger flooding and landslides in Metro Manila, the Ilocos region, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, the Bicol region, Western Visayas, and the provinces of Bataan and Zambales. Pag-asa has just declared the start of the rainy season yesterday. It says while Metro Manila will have widespread rains and thunderstorms in the coming days, dry periods or monsoon breaks will follow for up to 2 weeks. We now speak with Pag-asa weather forecaster Sheila Reyes. Hi Sheila, first an update on Tropical Storm Doming. Saan na papunta si Doming ngayon at inaasahan pa po ba natin na lalakas pa si Doming?
Magandang hapon po Miss Maya at sa ating mga tagapakinig. Si Doming po ay nag-intensify bahagya. So kanina pong alas 10 ng umaga ay huli itong namataan sa layong 565 kilometers east-northeast ng Basco, Batanes. Nasa tropical storm category pa rin po ito. Taglay ang lakas ng hangin na umabot sa 85 kilometers per hour malapit sa gitna at gustiness na posibleng umabot po sa 105 kilometers per hour. Forecast movement, inaasahan po natin nakikilos po ito north-northeast sa bilis na 21 kilometers per hour. So ibig sabihin po, kumikilos na po si Bagyong Doming palayo sa ating bansa. At dahil po nasa considering po na yung location nitong si Bagyong Doming ay nasa karagatan, kaya posible pa rin po or hindi po natin inaalis yung posibilidad na maaari pa rin po itong mag-intensify.
Kaya bukas pa rin po ba ang expected na lalabas si Doming ng PAR?
Yes po, tama po kayo dyan. Kung hindi po magbabago ang movement nitong bagyo, posible po bukas ng umaga ay nasa labas na po ng Philippine Area of Responsibility itong si Bagyong Doming.
Sa huli pong update ng Pag-asa, malaking bahagi ng Luzon at Visayas ang maapektuhan ng bagyo at ng habagat. So ano po ba ang dapat nating paghandaan?
Yes po, lalong-lalo na po sa western section po ng ating bansa dahil po sa habagat at inaasahan po natin ang moderate to occasionally heavy rains. Kaya maging alerto po sa posibleng pagbaha o kaya naman pagguho ng lupa at patuloy pa rin pong mag-antabay sa mga updates na pinapalabas ng Pag-asa. If ever meron po tayong advisory at patuloy pa rin pong mag-antabay sa mga bulletins po na pinapalabas ng Pag-asa regarding with this tropical storm Doming po.
You mentioned papalabas na si Doming at inaasahan na bukas wala na siya sa Philippine Area of Responsibility. So what can we expect pagkalabas niya? Can we expect better weather?
Okay po. Though palabas na po si Bagyong Doming, inaasahan naman po natin na maaari pa rin pong i-enhance nitong bagyo ang ating southwest monsoon or hanging habagat po. So in the coming days, inaasahan po rin po natin na sa malaking bahagi po ng Luzon, maulan pa rin po ang inaasahan nating weather condition.
May kasunod ba itong si Doming? May namataan po ba kayong bagyo dyan sa Pacific Ocean?
So far naman po, si Bagyong Doming pa rin po yung binabantayan natin. Wala pa naman po tayong namamataang sama ng panahon or low pressure area na maaari pong makaapekto sa ating bansa. So, ngayon po, ngayong month of June, yung forecast tropical cyclone po na maaring pumasok ng PAR, yung forecast po natin is either 1 or 2. So, meron na po tayong isa. So, posible po meron pang incoming na isang bagyo. Pero sa ngayon po, wala pa naman po tayong binabantayang low pressure area.
Maraming salamat, Sheila. Thank you for taking our call. That was Pag-asa weather forecaster Sheila Reyes.